Hello everyone, welcome to the first video of my YouTube channel, and we are going to do our first game from the Rock Solid Chess book which I bought a few days ago. And here is the first game. Without any delay, let's get started. So the game was Paul Jano versus Aron Nimzowitch, and Paul Jano opens with d4. We have knight f6 and c4. So this is the queen's gambit, and which I played from both sides. Now the idea of this central d4 c4 push is that the knight can come from behind and reinforce the center with e6. So for example, if black plays a random move with g6 and free answer to the bishop, white gains full control of the center. So this is the basic idea of the queen's gambit. And here we have e6, knight c3, and bishop b4. This is called a Nimzo-Indian defense. The bishop is eyeing down at the knight and the king, where it is attacking the knight, and the bishop is aiming to damage the pawn structure, followed by c5 with some initiative. And if, for example, white doesn't pay attention to this, he plays a random move, then black can take over the initiative with c5, and if white takes, then black can also take on c3 with check, and these three double pawns are very harmful. And with queen a5, black will secure the advantage. So white did not do that. He first did e3, reinforcing his center, and now after c5, white can play bishop d3, and his center won't be broken. So this is a nice idea, and this is also called the Rubinstein variation of the Nimzo-Indian. And black continued with developing his castle. He castles and bishop d3 with c5. Now the point is we are attacking the center. We are going to play b6 and bishop b7, and there are two plans for black. For example, number one is b6 with bishop b7, and here in this plan, we have two more plans with knight c6 and knight d6 and with knight b7. So, for example, let's say knight b7. So this is a knight position for black. Or immediately d6 and knight b7. So here also knight b7, h3. And black can still play b6 and bishop b7. But he can also go queen e7, rook e8, and so on the game. So knight f3 in the game, knight c3, castles. We have takes, takes, and d6. Now black has a solid structure with these pawns. On the other hand, white has the bishop pair. But white's pawn structures are damaged, so both players kind of have a small edge here. Knight d2, now b6 and knight b3. Now, after if d5. So for example, if d5 takes, and white may get greedy with knight cross e5, and one line here is queen c7, c cross d5 and knight e5, and this shows the beautiful coordination of black pieces, and all black pieces are active, and here the whole activity depends. So for example, now knight e4 continues knight d5, where bishop e2, now f5, and c4, for example, knight cross e4 and queen d4, a nice line here with knight db6, and black obtains a slight practical edge, while white still keeps the bishop there. If knight c3, bishop b7, the position is roughly equal. This is not what happened in the game. Instead, black went e5, and white striked with f4. This was a mistake. So instead of f4, white should have played e4 here with a strong center, but instead now f4 is weakened all the dark squared pawns. So you can see that this is like kind of target c3, d4, e3 and f4. But here in the game, black went e4, which is the best move. Bishop e2 and queen d7. So here bishop e2. We had a classic game with Jona and Nimzowitch here before, and this is the second game they're playing in the same variation. So Nimzowitch chose queen d7, and we have h3 and knight e7, queen e1 and h5. And already Nimzowitch is clinching on the advantage. His plan is to go knight f5, followed by h4 and knight g3. So you see what Nimzowitch has done in the previous move? He has just shown his ambition to both the sides, here and here, confusing his opponent where he's gonna attack. And now Nimzowitch just comes queen f5 and just retreats. So the way Nimzowitch confused his opponent from here with queen d7, aiming at this side, aiming at this side, then with knight e7, having all kind of plans with e5, knight 5, h5. Lovely play. And now queen f5. The point is showing ambition that I may go bishop e6 and attack this pawn, and now he's retreating here, confusing that now I can even go knight f5 and h4. So the way he confuses his opponents is beautiful. And as you can see that black has an advantage of minus 1.1, which is a nice advantage here. a4, and as the plan was here, on black plays knight f5, we have g3, a5, rook g1, knight f6. So now, what Nimzowitch has done, he has provoked g3 from white, showing his intention of h4, which made white play g3, and now a5, rook g1, knight h6. Since this g3 was provoked, now Nimzowitch comes back with his knight, and now this f5 square is for the queen, which the queen can use to attack on h3. So the game continued. Bishop f1, bishop d7, bishop c1, and rook ac8. We have d5. So now Paul Joner is just locking the center, trying for some counterplay, but it's already as good as a winning advantage for black. And Nimzowitch just quickly attacks on the king side, knight f1 and rook g7. And now here the game was almost over. It's minus 2.6, and they just shuffled a little bit more pieces. So he just exchanged open. And I think Nimzowitch could have gone knight g4, a pretty line here, at g4 and h4. And bishop e4, followed, this is the only move to win, h cross g3, king g2, and here knight h4 check. King cross g3 and rook does g4. And if king h3, then you can just grab the bishop. So, and if king h1, obviously you can just take the bishop back. So this was a pretty line, but Nimzowitch missed it because it was very tough too. So he played bishop c8 and just continued the grind. And finally he found a brilliant tactic with bishop cross h3. And the point here is if king cross h3, then it's a mate in 8 moves, queen f5 check, g4, rook plus g4, rook plus g4, and queen cross g4 check, king h2 and queen g1 check. It's just a mate, queen cross f1 check, bishop g2, and it's just as beautiful as the brilliant sacrifice of Mikhail Tal. Just a beautiful Mikhail Tal game. It could have been, if this was played, then it would have been awesome. But bishop c4 was played, and Now it was as good as over. Just the final moves and just took over the game. And okay, just resignation was there. So I think a beautiful game here by Nimzowitch. The way he has played was awesome. I mean, look, he confused his opponent, never let the advantage slip away. And it's an awesome play here. And some tips I would like to give, like some opening tips which you could use. So bishop d3, c5, knight f3. So in the Rubinstein, there are many ways for black to fight against this. One is d5 and the other is c5. And the point of Rubinstein is usually to defend this knight as white. So just a small line I wanted to show here, which I made on my own, kind of here with castles and bishop e3, e5 and bishop e2, and takes. I would say white has a great advantage. His plan is b4, short castle, followed by rook d1, and this pawn is just gonna be attacked by FDPs. So beautiful position for white here. And I would also like to give some tip as black with the Nimzowitch anyone plays here. So yeah, Hubert, the best way to fight Hubert's castle, and what Nimzowitch is the best way. And against this, I would also say that e5 or c5, anything is fine. I would say d5 is a little bit slightly preferable, and after e3, bishop e7. If white continues with c5, we have b6, b4, and a5. With the great position for black, here all the exchanges happen queen to c1, and after knight c6, this position is engine short, and knight b4 can come with all kind of threats, and black is slightly better. So I think that's it now. Beautiful game here by Nimzowitch. Just the way how he played was beautiful. I love this confusion. He confused his opponent. Yeah, I think that's it. That's it for now, guys. Today, I will make one more video regarding these games. If you like this, please like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.